child abuse on no child abuse on fucking like Facebook and shit. Okay, but yet, none of these things are verified. It's no more different than going through his Twitter thing and figuring out who is who and what is what. Okay, it makes it very difficult for you to go through this junk, okay, and mutter around trying to figure out the whole thing. So, if he wants to sit there and use his name, then the only person that should have his fucking name is his fucking name. Not in attributing, notification or anything else along that line because it gives, how we say, a misinterpretation. Okay, it's no more different than this get verified crap. How are you supposed to get verified if you can't even spend $7 to $14 because you can't even make that payment? What ID? Do you get the point? Okay, so, if you want to sit there and state this and everything else like that, it shouldn't be that hard to verify or do whatever or anything else like that. Okay, the problem is when it's being duplicated. That's different because that pertains to their area and their culture. Get the point? Okay, it's like stating it like this. Okay, if I were to go to Japan and if I had, a Twitter or whatever, okay, it would still be the same Twitter, just in a different language, right? Same thing with Facebook. Could be the same. It should be the same, but just in a different language. 'Cause that's the only thing you should have to change. No, but you get my point. Okay, so the whole thing is it deals around, most of those things. Okay, if you take, for example, all right, okay, what is this? ID verification. I don't even get what that's supposed to mean. Um, right, I have to do that from my phone. And I have to do that from my phone. Where? Where does it say that? I don't see anything that says that. I've been through all this fucking crap. Where is that? There ain't no verification and security. Uh-huh, you hit premium, you know what it takes you to is would you like to pay for it? Yeah, well, people say this shit exists. I can sit here and show you that it's not. Mm-hmm. This is where it takes me. Mm-hmm. Is yeah. So when freedom of speech comes at an expense, what freedom of speech do you have when it comes at an expense? You still have none. Do you get what I mean? So exactly how is this considered freedom of speech when in essence you really don't have any other way to verify who you are other than what? Yeah, but when you want to sit here and claim, so then I ask you, then what doesn't come at a price? Well, then hence the point. If everything comes at a price, but yet I can't have a job to even do basic functions as even speak out, then what left is there to do? I ask you the question. Not a lot of people do. You know, all you're left to is be what? Violent, right? So hence, it's basically a bunch of talk. The only time that people will start recognize it is when you get violent, right? I mean, you try to sit there and be outspoken and all that other junk, and you try to, make things get known. You try to sit here and let things, and sit there and let people, fucking know about shit, but who's really going to pay attention to it? Unless you're what? Bingo. So it's one of those things, hence the whole point. If for example, okay, if Mark Zuckerberg, all right, apparently he's being hit for what is it? Abuse, abuse on Facebook and, child abuse on Facebook and all this other junk, okay? But when you start, if you start digging into Twitter and everything else like that, I'm pretty sure you'll find that in there. So the whole problem is does the person that's in charge actually do something about the problem or don't they, right? And do they recognize the problem, or are they just going to say, oh, it's not their problem, but yet they want to be in control of a thing, but yet it's not their problem? How does that work? You can't be in control of something and then declare that it's not your problem, but you yet want to remain in control. Then it is your fault, and it is your problem. So it's no more different than, that fuck book shit and everything else like that. I got a question. When is, there's already, what is it, an adult TikTok and all that other junk. So when's that going to be hit with, child slander and all that other junk? That's only a matter of time now. Because that's how Facebook got that shit started. Hence the point. So, you want to sit there, claim child this and child that when actually, you're not actually speaking to the people who deal with the children, which are their parents. Yeah, you can blame the company for it, for allowing it to happen, for not verifying, for not, taking the precautions, protocols, and everything else like that that it needs to do it. Yeah, yeah, hence the point. That is the whole point of taking responsibility and not giving your kid a fucking phone at such a young fucking age. And and that was the whole point of my mom either even doing the internet and everything under scrutiny was because she didn't want us on porn sites and shit like that. So and there wasn't a buffer or a surfer or anything else like that they fucking have today. It was her monitoring us, walking by and going, "What the fuck are you on? And what the fuck is that?" Checking up on us. Hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you doing this? What are you doing that? Do you get my? You kind of get my drift? Okay, so, it's that whole thing. It's no more different than fucking, oh, people claiming, oh, well, religion it needs to be in schools and shit. No, it don't, because that's what got you in the fucking, trouble in the first place. So then that means basically you can have sex with my kid because, if you read the good book, what does it say? Who slept with who and what did what? Hence the whole point. So when is that going to be fucking, going to be come up when, oh, you hear a principal or a counselor or whatever again having, sex with their fucking kids because, oh, well, it's biblical. It's by Bible law. I can fuck this, 8-year-old, excuse me? Consensual? Exactly that. The word is consensual, isn't it? If the two agree to it. That's how it's consensual. It's kind of hard to put a number to it, and the reason why that is let me put it to you this way: When is the first time you literally thought about a woman in that degree? What is the first time you actually did? Name the age. Because I guarantee you it was younger than what? 13. I guarantee you that. I didn't say with your mother. Oh, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, I ain't talking about your fucking mother. Do you get a hard on for your mom? So I'm asking you, at what age did you come to start thinking about women at that point? It can happen to be younger, depending on, right? Okay. So the whole thing is it's also based upon your mentality and everything else like that. Okay, so the whole thing is this. Okay, if you want to go, what do you think is a proper age of consensuality? There isn't a proper age of consensuality. You know why? Do you know why? Well, there is that, but the determination of consent, okay, is basically you convincing the other person of doing it. Correct? Okay, so how'd you get your kid? Well, well, you courted and dated your woman and asked her to convince her that you're a good guy, you're not some pushover, you'll defend her, you'll do this for her, but the thing about it is she has to prove to do, that she has to do those same things. Now then, if you don't each have in each other's back or any degree, or be helpful or be courteous or at least be kind or anything of that nature, you honestly think you're going to get between her legs? No, right? Yes. The age of consent was never really a determination until later when literally, fucking churches, dads, and whatnot were sexually abusing their kids. That's when the age of consent came around. When people want to sit there and use fucking biblical law as making it okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In Romania. But that's Romania, that's not here. If he's here, he's not in Romania. Yes. And whatever is legal in that country is legal in that country. Well, the thing about it is it's not just considered over here or over there. Okay, there is a very bad problem with this these days. Okay, is that people use that rhetoric. What's over here? What's over there? What is considered illegal? What is considered not illegal? What is considered to be infringed or non-infringed or bad or this or that or the other thing? Okay, when honestly it's all bad. It's all fucking bad. It's all fucking bad either way you slice it. Okay, the problem is this is the whole problem that people have. Okay, is when your coercion of a child is exactly that, it's coercion. It's getting them to believe it's okay when in essence it's not. The whole point of consent is someone knowingly know what's going on and agreeing to it. So in other words, in other words, if that kid doesn't know that that's going to happen, but this guy is being nice and everything else like that, but not knowing what they're asking him to do, that then that's why it's a problem. Okay, for example, there also used to be males that would go and specifically target retarded women. Yes, in essence, to have sex with them because they don't know the difference or what they're asking them to do. Google it. I'm not. Google it. That's not a joke. Probably, yeah. That's where that came from. That's what you worry about, is what she looks like. Uh, I understand that. I understand that. But that wasn't kind of the point of that. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. A lot of it's real, actually. It's just the whole thing is what you have to understand. A lot of those jokes that Family Guy makes happen. They fucking happened. No, they just make light of a bad situation. That's all Family Guy is, honestly, is making light of a bad situation and going, do you remember when this shit was going? Can you believe this? And making fun of it. That's when they're actually making fun of it, is when the show continues. If you notice, there's like a bit or a skit in kind of in the beginning, kind of like The Simpsons. Okay, there's a bit in a skit in the beginning that kind of gives a direction on where it's going to go. After that, that's exactly what they play on are those kind of events. That's what makes Family Guy so intriguing, so funny, because it's a lot like The Simpsons, just a newer version. Yeah, which is a lot more harder to poke fun of because you can't poke fun of a serious situation, especially when it's a very volatile one. It's gonna see it the same way. And that's what makes an individual an individual. We all don't see it the same fucking way. Do you get what I'm saying? So hence the point. Okay, so if you take, for example, okay, any of these, Family Guy episodes or anything else like that, okay, the point of fact is in the beginning is a lot of it starts off very misconstrued, but there are certain points in the show where it makes fun of facts, and those are one of those facts. Is where, men would basically, prey on retarded women or whatever because they don't know any different or this and this and that. Not only easy to control, easy to manipulate, basically you can sign over, their life to you and all that other junk. So yeah, hence the point. And then, when they started to pick up that and everything else like that, it becomes a real problem because now they're not in control of their own life nor their own decisions. So who should be? And that became a problem. Oh well, and they would get married or whatever, and it would be, oh well, I'm, her husband and blah 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 blah. Yeah, but it doesn't give you the right to beat on her, and that should happen. Just because, they can't control anyone, and that's their problem, is they want control over somebody. I mean, it's a pretty simple fact. The problem is what? Some people don't think it's a big deal until it happens to them. It's no more different than me asking you about, what was it? Uh, the thing I told you to watch about Donald Trump uncle or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, hence kind of the whole point. Okay. It doesn't make any sense, okay, for, oh, what's the best way to put this? For people to misconstrue a point or a person, and that's what we do nowadays, is we misconstrue a point or a person. Okay, we're all about misconstruing a point or a person. It's no more different than, looking on Twitter and, you know, you see what was a Waltz guy walking around with, I guess, his brother or whatever. At least that's what they claim. Okay, and they want to sit there. Oh, well, they yanked him, and look how aggressive his face looks. There's, anger there. Motherfucking people. Y'all make an accusation over one claim. Try to, point in the direction, and get people to look in a direction when in essence that's not even what's going on. If you look at the fucking film, okay, he pulls, his brother or whatever over to the side, away from a teleprompter so he doesn't hit it. I mean, what the fuck? So you want to sit there and, and try to make a rhetoric about something that doesn't even exist because you only find one flaw in it. And it's such a minute flaw that is the only thing you can get, point at or get at. Do you get what I mean? I mean, it makes no sense. It would be me basically telling you I don't like the way you deal with your kid because I don't like the way you deal with your kid. So I'm gonna, put this little 5-second thing up of you, doing something wrong with your kid, but the rest of the day is fine. And me only using that one thing, but forget the rest of the day. It's no more different than your medical people or whatever.
It's still
Hello? Oh, hold on. Hello?
Hey,
Give me a second, TDD. Yeah.
you guys still need me to help out, or?
I don't know because Paul hasn't gotten a hold of Jordan yet. So, I mean, I would have to ask him.
Okay.
So at this point, I really have no idea. Because I don't even know if he's coming over today or anything. So, because Paul, I guess, didn't ask or whatever to make sure or whatever. So, I'm shooting all this shit in the dark as usual. Which I fucking hate.
Alright.
So, I mean, how late are you going to be up?
Probably until 12.
Alright,
Hold on.
okay, if I hear from him before 12, I'll let you know. So therefore, at least figure out something.
Okay.
'Cause that's the only thing I can think of because hence my, problem with is what people doesn't fucking keep up with each other nor do they ask proper questions. Okay, to get an idea of what each other are doing, so which makes it extremely complicated.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's the only answer I got right now.
So, um, ah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people right now.
Yeah, I know, hence the point.
Alright.
I mean, because either way, because if we do it at night, we're going to have to keep the trailer for an extra night. I mean, it's just the way they fucking work because you can't drop shit off in the fucking, at night anymore because of, I don't know, some fucking people and their stupid criminal shit. Or I don't even fucking care anymore. I mean, the whole point is it's fucking all stupid as far as I'm concerned. You know, all
So you
this.
have to rent the whole day?
Yeah, basically. Basically, what you would have to do is you would have to basically rent the trailer for 2 days in essence to go pick it up because there's going to be no one there in the parking lot at night. But, the whole thing is, and the whole complication is, even during the day, would be getting everybody out of the way of the parking lot. And you know how fucking people are today, they're only to themselves and let alone anything else.
Alright.
So it's, it's one of those types of things. So it's one of those things I just need to figure out something and nobody's giving me answers other than few. So because you're the only one that's called and asked about it, so that's the only answer I got. I don't know.
Alright.
But I'll let you know something when I hear something. All right,
Alright, fine.
all right, later.
I saw the text on the Discord.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Um, kind of like a false identity thing. Okay. Uh, did anything happen at work?
No,
No.
no.
So for once, they pulled their head out of their ass.
Apparently they just
Did they say anything? They didn't say nothing to you. They didn't do nothing to you. They didn't give you any paperwork, bullshit, try to give up fucking some excuse or nothing. So they just basically left you alone. Good, because they need to. Because that is fucking bullshit, and why it's not criminal is beyond me.
see in the future, so see what happens.
But yeah, bingo, because I'm waiting for it to happen again.
Understood. Because if it does happen again, then
No, because they can't say that fucking, people don't want to work. That's fucking bullshit. I'm tired of fucking hearing it.
no.
Okay, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about anymore. These politicians think they know what the fuck they're goddamn saying. Give me a second, TD. I'm gonna get some fucking coffee. Hold on, give me a damn minute. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Small little critter.
It looks more like a size of a
It looks about the size of a raccoon. Then and if it's white and if it has like a hunch to it, or basically like I say, it looks like a big rat, like a very large rat, then it's a possum.
it looks more like a large rat.
I'm just saying, if it looks like a large rat with white hair, then it's a fucking possum. That's how it was described to me. The best way to understand what a possum looks like. It looks like a big, giant rat. No, they don't always have white hair. It's just easier to understand that it looks like a giant fucking rat, which it does.
To me, it just looked like a black giant fucking rat.
Yeah, then it's more likely a possum. You're all more welcome to join. I ain't doing nothing but discussing.
Yeah, nothing but disgusting.
Or for the moment, yeah. But anyway, where were we? Well, no, it's a possum that's kind of underneath the trailer at the moment, and it more or less trying to figure out how to get it out of there. But he said, he saw it earlier, so it might not be there anymore. And it goes there because it's looking for a safe place to be. No? Like what kind of car? Are we talking American grade or Mexican grade? Because American grade is a pretty big car. And that depends upon the size of the car. I mean, you're talking like Buick, Chevy. I mean, what are we talking about car, though? Size wise. Tesla cars is about, okay, are we talking, okay, now if we're talking about a size of a Tesla car, so now we're talking a sedan. Okay, so you're talking, so something about the size of like a Honda. Okay, like a compact car, not something like grotesquely big, like for example, like a Buick or one of those things. An American car. Okay, because those, hence the point, American. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like a Honda Civic. They're kind of tiny. Here I go. What? I don't see anything. Yeah, it's a Halloween prop. That doesn't even look real. Yeah, it's a Halloween prop. Did you see the full thing? Yeah, it literally they literally discuss it, and it says that it's and they literally discuss it about it being a Halloween prop. Just let you know, they discuss it as a Halloween prop because it looks like a Halloween prop. Because one, it wouldn't sit upright like that because they don't do that. All right. Second of all, okay, the hair doesn't look right, and third of all, the eyes don't match up onto what an actual dead rat would be. Because if you actually look at any dead animal, the first thing that sinks in are their eyes. Do you know that? Yes. Have you ever watched like a corpse decompose? I mean, any corpse, doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, and the first things that degrade, believe it or not, are the eyes. On the outside, the first things that degrade are the eyes. Well, no, the smells comes from the inside. And that comes from your stomach and all those organs and stuff like that. Mainly your colon. Ah, hence the smell. No, I'm just saying. So hence the smell. Okay. But back to the point of fact. Okay, and what we were talking about before. Okay, is it's one of those things like like for example, if Andrew goes to work, it's no more different than you. Okay, who's gonna stay home with the kid? Do you trust him? Okay. Would do you honestly trust these schools to educate your child anymore? Then what makes you think, right? You'd put them in that kind of position, correct? Okay. So, for example, all right, you came in asking me about what? You said you wanted to talk to me about a specific matter that involved your kid, right? And what I consider to be consent. Okay. So here is my thing, okay? Either way, your child at some point is going to be duped into that situation. The whole problem is parents won't educate them about it. That is that problem. That is where you get pedophiles. That is where you get this. That is where you get that. Hence the reason why I told you, about the retard thing and, men preying on retarded women and stuff like that, right? Yeah. They have personal issues. Personal. Okay. Which either means they were never discussed about it, they were never told about it, they were never questioned, they were never answered, they were never anything. They were just, no, they were just left to go ask someone else who's going to tell them whatever they want. When in essence, that's what you're doing too. You are telling your kid whatever you want. But the problem is, are you addressing them being comfortable in their own skin? With who they are and what they're growing up to be. Are they comfortable with themselves? That's the whole thing. That's what a lot of people are failing to address these days. Are you comfortable with who you are? That is one thing my mom wanted to make sure is that we were comfortable in our own skin. Are you okay with what you do and the decisions you make? Yeah. Even if they're bad. That's the whole point. Even if they're bad, right? That's the whole point of it, right? Is I have to be comfortable with the decisions I make. So it's the decisions I choose. That is the point of choice, isn't it? It's the problem is when that's when the whole pedophile and everything comes out like that because they're not making a choice. They're being coerced into it. That is not a choice. It's like give me, I'll give you a piece of candy if you open up your legs. That's coercion. They don't understand why they're doing it. They just know they're getting a piece of candy because that's what they want. Get what I mean? So that's what a lot of these people are looking for. If I give you a piece of candy, you'll open up your legs. What? That's where you get the whole term of I like 'em easy. That's where you get that term is oh well I like 'em young and dumb. Ever heard of that one? But that's where you get this. That's where you get the young and dumb. Huh? Oh no, that's fine. But that's where you get the whole young and dumb routine. Okay, is because they don't know any better. They don't think very far. They don't know what's really going on. That's where you get the young and dumb routine. I don't like people who are young and dumb. Like my mom says, if you're young and dumb, then that means you haven't grown any, and that means I still have to treat you like a child. It does. It does. That is exactly what it translates to. If you're gonna sit there and call someone a child, then understand what you're being yourself. Because understand, you married a child, then you are a what? Bingo. Because he doesn't understand what he's doing because he still has the mentality of a child. That's how you get, most retarded people and stuff like that because it's all the mentality of a child. They don't understand the complexities that go on in life for them not to understand that this is wrong or this is right or this shouldn't happen or that shouldn't happen. They will just agree to it. Hence, you get the problem with, you just have to do as I say. So I'm a retarded person. You're telling me I don't have any common sense. You don't telling me I have no sensibility. You're telling me I don't have a voice. I don't have this. I don't have that. So at what age would you consider your child to be a consensual adult? Because the real question is not what age does whatever. It's what age do you? Because it's your child. Do you find it proper for her to be, 11-year-old, 11 years old and having sex? Do you approve of that? Okay, but what if she does? Okay, so the real problem is what? Of bingo. Not also that the parent and child in which the person is dating. Exactly. You can't control the situation. You can only prepare them. That's the best you can do, and that is all you can do. Hence the whole point in it. So hence the reason why I tell you, then what are you preparing your kid for? Are you preparing her for the rest of like the rest of these women, who run around, want to run around sitting there telling people, for example, my roommate, oh well, sit there and go basically fuck everybody that she basically runs into, then goes and yells at my roommate, oh well, Sean raped me, and literally is looking at her like she's cross-eyed, dumb, and stupid, going, you're trying to tell someone who has lived with you and this other dude for the past I don't know how many years that he raped you and I've been there the whole time. He hasn't raped you at all.
My sister tried to.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you wonder why, as a woman you're labeled as a hoe or a slut or a skank or whatever. Is because you put yourself in a predicament like that you want to sit there and use your sexuality and yet in essence to get somewhere or get something because you think you have pussy and that's what people want. Like I told your woman, and I tell this to everyone, what happens when that doesn't apply anymore? I don't believe any of them. I don't even believe my sister. Hence the whole point. I mean, if you want to sit here and run around and sit here and label this shit that way and everything else like that, you are making more problems for yourself than you are actually having in anything conducive or anything of that matter. So it's no more different than I asked freaking, Andrew. Okay, because his sister then went around to his other sister claiming, oh, that I did this and I did that, and even Andrew's like, since fucking when? You have been sitting out in the living room. You have never been alone in the room with Sean. You have never been da 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 da. You have never done these things, and every time you have, that's never fucking happened. So basically, you're sitting here spouting off lies. Caleb, Andrew's sister.
My older sister. 5 years.
Uh, a while back.
Approximately 5 years
No.
ago.
Mhm.
That's you're in Hampton?
No, that was, he's talking about Aubrey, because he's talking about the ARC server and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. That was Aubrey. That wasn't, no, different person, different sister.
Yeah.
No, but no, but get this, okay, leading to that point, alright, which was going to be another thing, okay, his sister, which is that one, the one we played, ARC with and whatnot, apparently, at some point in time, according to her, I was hitting on her. Never happened. Alright, yeah, never happened. Never fucking happened. This is how, yeah, the one we were playing ARC with. This is how this shit transpired. Okay. Okay. This is and this is what's fucked up about it. Okay, is me and him, decided, because he wanted to get a computer for his sister, right? Yeah. All right. Always asking him, to buy shit for her and stuff like that. Oh, well, pity me because I don't have and y'all do bullshit. Okay, and I understand, being, a brother and everything else like that, you want to play, video game with your, siblings or whatever. I completely understand that. Okay. The problem was then, all of a sudden, okay, even Andrew didn't understand this. We brought her the computer and everything else like that. Okay, got it set up, got it, he forgot a few things, he went to go and pay for it and everything else like that. So, I was sitting there, helping her, kind of get through the ins and outs of, Windows and what she was working with and stuff like that to kind of, help her understand what she was, using. Okay. So we get on, I think it was like 7 Days to Die or something. Alright, something just easy, basic, it didn't cost him a lot of money to get or whatever, I think he already had it prior or whatever. So, we're sitting there and we're talking and everything else like that, which I'm perfectly fine with, and I can do that with anybody. Okay.
No, it was.
Hold on.
Two.
Either way, Destiny 2. Either way, it was a fucking game.
Yeah, I know. It was just fun.
Okay. So we're sitting there playing the game. Okay, and everything else like that. And having a good time, making jokes, cracking jokes, stuff like that. Making perverted comments, about this, that, and the other thing as usual, right? Okay, we all do it, right? No, I'm just saying, but everybody, makes a perverted comment or something like that, right? Okay, well, the thing was, we're sitting there, we're chilling, playing a game and whatnot. And so the next thing, that happens is, we switch games and whatnot and stuff like that. A few days go by. And then all of a sudden, alright, she goes, and tells Andrew that you're interfering with my time with Sean. Yeah. And even Andrew just kind of does this, he kind of, and he's like, okay, and then, he comes back to my room and he's like, what's the deal? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't even know where that came from, dog. I have no fucking clue. And he's like, well, she's telling me that I am interfering with your game, or I'm interfering with her time with you, or some damn shit, and whatnot, and that, I need to go away and not, take away her time with you, and I'm even like, what?
I'm questioning what the fuck.
What's going on, dude? And he's like, yeah, she's literally telling me this, so I literally get on the fucking, mic, and I'm like, okay, look, I don't know what y'all's fucking deal is between each other, and I really don't fucking care, okay? He's my friend, you're my friend, I really don't fucking care. But I ain't trying to take nobody's time away from nobody. I am here as a friend for everybody. I am not just here for one person or whatever, okay? So I don't know where exactly you get this thing of that somehow he's taking time away from something or whatever, in which he is not doing, okay? And so, I said that and everything else like that, okay? And then the next thing I know, okay, we're sitting there playing, I think it was like Rocket League or some damn shit, okay? And the next thing I get is, you know, Andrew's coming in again going, I see that y'all are playing, fucking, Rocket League. I'm like, do you mind if I play? I'm like, I don't care. So, the next thing I do is, I invite Andrew and all that other junk, and she's like, oh, well, why'd you invite Andrew? Because it's Andrew. I play games with Andrew, and it's Andrew. What's the
Fucking.
what's the fucking deal?
What's the fucking.
Okay, and even Andrew's like, what is with her right now? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And so it makes no sense. All I'm doing is, being friendly, being myself, and that's it. I don't know if there's any. I didn't know I was doing something special. And even Andrew didn't get. He's like, I don't know. I don't fucking get it. I'm like, look, the only thing I can think of is that she likes me because there's no other reason for her to say those things.
Yeah.
There is no other reason for her to say, why are you interfering with my time for this and this and that? And even Andrew's like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, well, then you need to explain to your sister that I am not interested in her. Okay, and no, I ain't looking for any kind of goddamn relationship of any goddamn kind other than just a fucking friend.
Just
And so, and so what's kind of funny is she gets bent out of shape, okay, and whatnot, and gets mad at Andrew and me, okay, and whatnot. All right, so she gets this boyfriend and everything else like that all the way from Australia. Okay, we're still talking a little bit and everything else like that. So I start kind of poking fun of her Australian friend because I don't know much about her Australian friend, and I'm not trying to really poke fun of him. I'm just trying to poke fun of a situation. Okay. And which was, I have no idea who this fucker is. Okay. And you're not giving him any other name other than he's Australian, so I'm so I'm like, okay, good, then I'm gonna give him a name myself. His name is now Fosters.
Funny thing.
And she and she was like, oh well, you don't need to, poke fun. I'm like, I have nothing to give this dude a name. You're not giving him a name other than him being Australian. Do you not know his name? Do you not know this dude? It sounds like you're getting duped to me from right now. And she's like, well, you're just sitting there poking fun of my boyfriend. Well, he's not your boyfriend. Well, yes, he is. No, he's not. Well, yes, he is. No, he's not. Because if he was your boyfriend, then he would be here dealing with your problems. And he's not. We are. So I got a question. What does your boyfriend have anything to do with anything that's going on right now? Is there anything he can do right now? It's not like he can come over here and beat my ass because he ain't in fucking America now, is he? What's he gonna do? Talk to me from a distance?
As we consider it, that's just being pussy.
What's he gonna do? Seriously, talk at me from a distance? Is that the best he can do? Because that's all he's gonna do. Okay, because if you have an actual problem, who's gonna fucking deal with it? Well, then your boyfriend should. So, then you shouldn't be asking Andrew for any help with anything, shouldn't you? Then your boyfriend should be able to handle it, right? And she got fucking apeshit pissed.
And then she hung up the Discord.
Huh?
She,
Say what? She got apeshit pissed.
yeah.
Because it wasn't for you to really know, and you didn't really care, and you're dealing with your own problems. Mm-hmm. Roundabout. But what does that have to do with anything? No, it's not the point. The point is what does that, okay, the way that, that's being, give her any right to go run around saying that I somehow hit on her or anything else like that. I didn't hit on her. I didn't hit her on her at all. How is me being nice to you hitting on you? So that's automatically hitting on you as me being nice. How the fuck is that? Like I even told Andrew, if I was hitting on your sister, I would be hitting on your motherfucking sister. I'd be asking you, hey dude, is she single? Hey dude, I got a question, what do you think the odds are? Blah 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 blah. I'd be going after Andrew about it. You get what I mean? Like I even told him the same way I kind of did with Kayla. I asked you if Kayla was single. I asked you these things. I asked you very specific questions that dealt with her specifically and or her what? Relationship status or, whatever. And you told me exactly what you told me. She's had a boyfriend. I don't know much about it. I do know she's single, but I don't think she's up for anything that deals with, what the manner of relationship is. But you can go ahead and give it a try.
Basically.
That's exactly what he told me, and I was on a scooter. So, I mean, there is a difference, right? Because in essence, if you like someone, you're going to get some information, right? Before you even decide to even date this person or have anything to do. You're going to at least try to get some kind of information of what they're like, right? Okay. Be a friend, be a whatever, I understand, he's nice to me like this, but is that how he truly is? Oh, hell no, bitch. I would let you know that motherfucker is nothing like this. You get what I mean? So, it can be. It can be, but it all depends on if they're interfering and the way they interfere. Because, someone having support of you being in a relationship, which means you can go talk to that person, and, they're supposed to be able to help you with the relationship, not destroy it. Because that's the point. They're supposed to value that, your relationship. It's not supposed to be the other way around.
You're not supposed to destroy.
Can you give me a lighter? It burnt out.
No, you're good.
Well, it's not about, okay, this is my thing, alright? The same thing I told TDD. Alright, the same thing I told Andrew. Okay, what do you consider makeup? You know what I consider makeup? Exactly what it stands for. Makeup. In other words, you're covering something up. Because in essence, to make up, you're not understanding what you're putting the context in. You're basically agreeing just because you can't or afraid of finding another partner or doing whatever. So in essence, all you're doing is making up, as in just covering shit up. You're not actually solving the problem because the problem will re-arise. That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. You don't make up. You what? Okay, but okay. Huh? Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so, but making up means what? When you make up, as in kids, what do you do? Here's a good aspect to look at it as. For example, we'll take you and your woman, and I'm not trying to, like throw you out there or whatever. I'm just trying to use an example, okay? Like at least a more relevant one, okay? Okay, let's take for example you and your current woman, right? Okay, do y'all make up or do you find a resolution to your problem? Do you resolve your problem? Oh man. So basically, your relationship isn't a relationship, it's a piece of paper. No, 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 no. An arrangement means what? Hmm. Someone does it for you. Really? Really? Well, then what is an arrangement? That's not an arrangement, that's a contract. Because you have terms. And if these terms are not agreed upon, then what? So let me put it to you this way, okay? You got with this woman for what reason then? Hmm. Hold on, you can't even give me a direct answer. You have to think your way through it. Is this a financial thing or is this an actual relationship? Yeah. I'm not saying that. It's the way you're defining your relationship. Do you get what I mean? Like there's a contract to it, and if you don't fulfill that contract, you get what I mean? So basically, hence the point. It's not really the love, is it? Not if there's a contract involved, and not if there's stipulations, not if there's terms or anything you have to meet. It's a job. No, no, it don't. No, no, it don't. You know why it don't? No, you know why it don't. No, 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 no. Happiness does not come to an ending. You know why? You know why? You're still here. You're still here. Yeah, really hard to debate that, isn't it? Okay, so let's divulge the point, and I am listening. Hence the reason why I'm trying to help you understand this. You cannot use a relationship as a contract bargain. It's kind of like using the kid against you with her. Still the same thing. The only difference is it's not a piece of paper. Where's the piece of paper for that kid then? Get the problem? Okay, so hence the reason why you cannot loop your fucking, life into business, and you cannot loop it business into life. You cannot do it. It's immoral, it's illegal, and two, you ain't gonna last long. Why? Because that's the problem. You're not separating two when there is a difference, okay? For example, my mom at home is my mom. My mom at home or at work is not my mom. She is fucking Michelle. There is a difference. No more different than you can't come and talk to me about my mom. My problem with that would be what? Your problem is with my mother, not with me. Right? Okay, it's no more different than you sending one of your friends to come and talk to me. I don't want to fucking talk to you. I got my problem is with the TDD. Why the fuck is he sending you over here? Well, if he wants me to come and talk to you, yeah, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even have anything against you. I don't have anything wrong with you. Who are you? Well, I'm here to talk to you. That's great. I don't want to talk to you. I don't know who you are, and I don't have a problem with you. Unless you want a problem, then I will give you a problem with you. And this is my problem with you. You're interfering with shit that doesn't involve you. Now you're a problem. Get right? Because you wouldn't want me always harping in on what you're doing with your woman, right? Hence the problem. Is it my place to do so? Okay. Is it my place as a friend to look at a situation that is going on and give you my best opinion and going, look, dude, you might not want to do that. Keyword, my opinion, as an outside source. Not, I'm not there, I'm not dealing with it, it is not my woman, right? Okay, but I will give you the advice that I see, that I hear, and that I hear what's going on, and I can tell you that you may not be noticing, right? Like you say, I'm not there to know everything that's going on, nor are you here, correct? Okay, so that is why You cannot hold your relationship, nor can you hold the constituent of what is considered consensual, is because of that fact. You are not there around your kid all the time. You are not there, to make sure that she ain't doing something. No, because if she's at school, then that's the whole point of the teachers, the principals, the officers that are there. That whole constituent. But they can sneak off and do it somewhere else now, can't they? Right? That is the whole thing. Okay, so consensual is the point when she starts becoming interested in an opposite or same sex. That's when you need to adjust. That's when you need to tell her, look, these are the things. Oh well, he's cute or she's cute. That's when you need to, address that and be like, look, I'm gonna explain a few things. You might not, want to hear it, but this is the way it is. And you're not going to like it no more different than I did, but it's just something we all accept eventually. When we get older and whatnot, you may not understand this now. You may consider it gross or whatever, but since you're asking about boys or girls or saying that this and that is cute or whatever, then I need to talk to you about what it is and what it means, the definement of a relationship, not yours, not anything else, just the definement of a relationship. In other words, what it means to be in one. Which means what? Being supportive of one another. That's the whole point of a relationship. It's not supposed to be the point of, well, because you have money and you can, support me and you can do this and you can do that. Yeah, but when I lose my job, who's supporting me? Right? So, hence the point. That is the whole point of consensualness, is the knowing of what someone else is doing and the intentions behind it. Same way I asked your woman, then did you consent to this? Well, yeah, okay, then you know the consequences, don't you? Well, it's the same thing. How can, like, for example, if your kid comes to you and says, oh, well, this dude, inappropriately touched me or did this or this and that when she's the age of 23, then what? Look, I can understand it, you at the age of 12, 8, 13, 16, maybe even up to the point of 18, but after 18, you kind of draw the line. Because when are they going to grow up and start holding their, own actions accountable? Hmm? No, I'm gonna ask you the question. When you're, this is the things that, me and my mom and everyone else discussed, with my sister and everything else like that when she had her kid, is what is she gonna do? The same thing my mom asked me when I had kids. Sean, do you know what you're gonna do with your kids? I have a good idea. Doesn't mean it's gonna work, but I have a good idea. And that's what I literally told her. I have a good idea. And she's like, well, that's a better response than I was expecting. What, did you honestly expect me to say I know what the fuck I'm doing? Yeah, honestly, I kind of did, as arrogant as you are. Uh, uh, Man, I'm not fucking arrogant. Okay, I'm arrogant because I had my niece, to kind of, help practice on. I learned from my niece how to be at least somewhat of a decent parent and watching my sister. And she goes, good, at least you learned something from your sister. Yeah, don't be like her. Because my sister can sit there, and go to work and all this other junk, but yet I have to miss school, I have to do this all because she can't fucking come home, leaves me responsible with her kid at the age of 14. Why do you think her nieces, my niece and my nephew are like, yeah, you didn't do shit, Sean did? Then why do they get that kind of rhetoric from their mother? You get what I mean? Or towards their mother. Or even towards their dad. So then what makes a good parent? Like I even asked Regina, what makes a good parent? Because she was, having a kid and whatnot. And, so I asked Regina, I'm like, you're having a kid. What makes a good kid? What makes a good parent? Are you going to do the stuff that your mother did? Well, no. Are you going to try to be better than your mother? Well, yeah. Are you going to be honest with your kid? That's definite. So what did you learn from your mother? Not much, Sean. I actually learned most of it from you. And I'm like, okay, but what did you learn from me? Good, bad, what? I mean, what? I mean, are you gonna blame me because you're smoking weed and everything? No, mom blames you for that one. How the fuck am I to blame for that? I didn't even introduce you to that or anything. She's like, I know. Hence the point. I don't even understand why she blames you for it. It's not like you fucking introduced me to anything. If you want to know who did, honestly, it was mom. And I'm like, what are you saying? Wait a minute, let me get this straight. She's like, yeah, well, I hate to tell you this, man. Mom's been arrested several times with weed in the car while, we were with her, blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute, this is from a woman who sat there and ran around telling everybody not to do these things, and yet she goes and fucking does them herself. You know what they call that, Regina, right? And she's like, well, I'm familiar with it. They call it a double standard. They call it it's a double standard. No, that's a double standard. In other words, meaning making a standard upon someone that you will not follow yourself. Double standard. It can be labeled as a hypocrite because that's honestly kind of what it is. That's what most people, fucking label as a hypocrite, but actually no, believe it or not, it's a double standard. Most people don't understand the doubling, as in people just understand that as just, doing it twice. It's kind of a double standard is more like say as I do, not as I say. That's what it is. It's a double standard. It's you hold me to a standard, but you don't hold yourself to it. You're a different so you have a different standard than me. Why? Because you think you can't. That's double standard. Make sense? So that's, I mean, even your girlfriend asked me the same thing about, consensual sex and all that other junk. Like I told her, when was the first time you had sex? Hence, don't go around asking everybody else these personal questions. It's fine, but always hold in mind your own and what you did at what age and when things started coming to light to you or how you felt about something or someone or something else like that. Then look for that same response in your kid. That would be the best parental advice I can give you. And then after that, that's when you have your, it's like, hey, you might, would you mind if we talk, or even if they come and talk to you about it. That's kind of the whole point. Is you want them to respect you enough to know that they're not going to get bullied, talked down to, or whatever, just because they want to ask a question or even a stupid one, because that's how a kid learns. It's no more different than you going into a new facility or whatever, not knowing a thing about the facility. You're kind of supposed to be a kid, you're supposed to be a sponge, absorb what's going on, right? Or else you won't learn anything, correct? Same thing. And if a manager knows from his previous experience not to do those things because he either got him in trouble or something fucked up, he's supposed to correct you on it. If you have an issue or whatever, and you go and ask him, oh, well, I got a question, blah, 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 he's supposed to give you a direct answer. Yes, no, and these are the reasons why. Right? Same thing with your kid. Yes, no, reasonable answers. Why? Why not? Okay, well, that's fucked up. Well, that's just how it's the same thing I did with my kid. Would you like me to take you to a couple of people that can answer these questions for you? And they will not be family members. Why? Because it goes to show that, family can tell you one thing. Most people will tell you the same things. There will be few people that will tell you different. But those are the few people who've had different experiences. But a lot of us have had or dealt with the same. So it's me teaching her what? People are different. People have different decisions. People have a different way of doing things, but there's one thing that remains constant, which is what? How to handle the situation. And that is where you get the point of consent, is how somebody handles a situation. So hence the point of consent. Consent means you understand what? Or what you're being asked to do. And the consequences of it. That's the difference. And with a kid, kids almost trust anyone, right? Especially if it's an adult, right? Because they're supposed to be protected by it, or you would think, right? Or they would think, or something along that line, right? Because that's typically what you hear out of a kid, right? So when you take advantage of that just because you're an adult, makes you a what? So you're telling me that someone. So if you're telling me if I went over there and coerced your kid, you would trust me. So I ask you again the same question. Now it kind of puts it in a different perspective when I use myself, doesn't it? Okay. It's strange, a little, a little kind of like how we say your brain's going, and Woody, right? Isn't it? Because I brought it up and I put myself in that position. And your brain is stressing now, going, fuck, even he could do it. Sean, you're making me think ill thoughts of you. That's kind of the point, man. Yeah. Is, making you even feel ill thoughts of me. You know how many times I have heard my own stepdad talk about wanting to fuck my goddamn sister? Do you know how many times I heard that? Since she was 13. I've heard him mutter it since she was about 12 years old. Tried to warn my mother about it, and she wondered fucking why. She wonders why I have an extreme hatred for Bill and everything else like that. I explained to her why when I told her this thing, and after that she didn't care. Like, I even told her, I've been hearing that since I was 8 years old, Mom. Since you started dating Bill, I heard that every now and again come out of his mouth. And she's like, well, how come you never told me? Well, we tried. That's the reason why we stole the truck, you stupid bitch. You get my point now. This is the point I'm always trying to get across. It doesn't matter how you get it across. It doesn't matter how you break it down. It's always consistent. Hence the point. That's what I'm telling you. It's always consistent. It doesn't matter who you are or when you run into. It's what people don't think that that you overhear. That's the problem. And then they want to go and believe someone else just because they think you misheard them or anything else like that. No, I didn't. Here's the reason why I tell everybody that I should have fucking came here with a goddamn camcorder, huh? Because a lot of people wouldn't believe you even if you tell them. So what's the real problem? What is the real problem? The real problem is parents not doing what? Having any interest in their children and what they do. That's it. Not having any fucking interest. Yes. That's why I'm trying to stress it so much to you with your kid. Make sure you are involved in your kid. Do not don't be like Elon Musk and disown them or whatever. No, 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 no. If your kid disowns you, that's fine. You know, and if it stays that way, that's fine. You're not doing it, right? Yes, and to hopefully they do better than you do, right? You are a hurdle and an obstacle for them to get over, correct? Bingo. Then be that. And be proud that they're doing it. Don't be like Elon Musk and sit there and shun his kid away. Because then why'd you have the kid? Why didn't you just fucking throw it away when she was first born then, you stupid fuck? That's why I say, dude, he's a disgrace as a fucking father. If your kid disowns you, that's different. You're not giving up on your kid, but your kid's giving up on you. That's completely different. You get what I mean? That is the whole standpoint of a parent. Is your kid is supposed to give up on you. You're not supposed to do the other way around. Because then you can say, well, no, I'm still your parent. Because you are. You're still their parent. Yeah, either fucking way. Either fucking way. And he goes, oh, you can't win them all. You're not supposed to win anything, motherfucker. You know what you're supposed to get out of it? The sense of self-respect that you can at least die knowing that you fucking at least did right by by supporting those who have issues supporting themselves. Then if not, you're not definitely not a human being that I'm aware of. So then what's the fucking deal? Because why are you having kids in the first place? If you're just gonna fucking sit there and be like, oh, well, you ain't my kid because you don't do as I say. Or you don't agree with what I do. Or you don't agree with what I say. They're not supposed to. They're your kids. They're not supposed to. And you won't even give your daughter the credit for her individualism? Yeah, you're a failure as a father. But yet you want to sit there and run around preaching individualism. Mm-hmm. So how can someone sit there and go preach about individualism, but yet wants to do what? It's not that I don't like him. It's the point in the way I would say credit.
He credits himself with being this greatest person and all, but in reality, he's not.
In reality, he really isn't. I mean, in reality, he really isn't. And I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, if you want to justify individualism, then he should be giving credit more to his daughter and everything else like that than he should be given for anyone else. It's no more different than, the X thing or anything else like that. Oh, well, we want you to express yourself, but you have to pay for it. But it's not the point of not knowing that anything's free or, not, everything comes at an expense. No shit. No shit, everything comes at an expense. So does my speech. It's called my life. Right? I mean, that's how you got your civil rights. Right?
Right.
Okay, so if you got your civil rights from JFK, which was how long ago? Around my mother's age, so about 60 some odd years. Okay. All right. Before that was what? Oh well, you got you know, you had the right to, you know, serve as a black or whatever. Okay. What made them two so great? Why do people still go on about those two? Why?
Because they made some serious changes and
Which was what?
the right and the individualism of the average American.
There you go. Right of an individual over the right of an average American. Well, what is an average American then? If we're all American, it's no more different than immigration. Okay. When you state immigration, everyone's an immigrant.
Right.
So does that mean I go back to Rhode Island? It's where I was born. Get the point?
Right.
Okay. So then, they want to sit there and, say, oh, well, you have the freedom to speak, the freedom to do this, the freedom to do that. Yeah. With bloodshed involved.
Oh my God, Sean.
No, have you ever known any other point of fact in history that didn't involve it?
No.
Hence the point. So then what
No.
takes what takes real change? If you look at all of history and you take a look at what real change took, what did it take? Bloodshed, a lot of it. Because if that was the case, then the civil rights movement would have been just people walking around on the street, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have the savage beatings. You wouldn't have the rapings and all that other crap going on, would you?
Police brutality, abuse of authority.
Yeah, the rapings. How come those cops ain't fucking, weren't arrested or anything for beating and raping a black woman? Get my point?
Yeah.
That's kind of my point. It's no more different than your kid, okay? So if the rules change back to, before the civil rights movement, like I told you, which it seems like they're fucking trying to do, who's to stop them from, like I told you, sticking you back in a plantation, or, for example, like, Andrew, being stuck somewhere without any, proper actual authority or security or anything else like that, if anything don't happen, but yet you're somehow in charge, then how come I don't own this fucking building?
Fuck, bro.
So I got a question, they say you don't want to work or anything else, like they're full of shit. Because if that was the case, then Andrew wouldn't have been there, would he? Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so hence I ask you the hard question. If you want to sit there and deal with your daughter and everything else like that, it doesn't matter if it's talking about a guy she has a crush on or a girl she has a crush on, okay, at school or whatever, or hell, even on TV. Man, I don't care. Wherever the fuck she sees it and whenever she approaches these feelings, that is when it becomes consensual. Does that help?
Yeah.
That would be what I consider, and what a lot of my family considered the age of consent is, because you are recognizing that your body is going through these functions. You don't understand why. You're trying to understand them. It's when, okay, well, I have a crush on this boy, or I have a crush on this girl, or I have a crush on this whatever. Okay, then obviously your mindset has changed into something different. And that's when it needs to be addressed, not when she's in school 14 or whatever, or when she hits her period, or no, it's when she actually starts getting the understanding of what a relationship is. So in essence, well, I want him to be my boyfriend, or I want her to be my girlfriend. You get what I mean? It's that whole bit. That is when you need to address it.
Right.
That is what I think the age of consent is, in my
Like,
best opinion, because that's when it comes up.
you know what's crazy, bro? I think ever since cell phones
And there's
came,
different ages, but understand there's different ages. So she could hit it early, she could hit it late. You don't know. It's whenever
yeah,
her mind understands that she has a physical or at least an emotional attraction to something else other than you.
right. And I feel like ever since cell phones have been created, like females have just become more and more dramatic and mentally abusive and all that shit.
Well,
And
they
that shit
have.
crazy, bro.
Well, they have. You know why they have?
Why?
Why do you think? Just curious. We'll go with what you think first, and then we'll make my opinion and see
I
which one
think
is better.
I would probably say the internet.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, I can see where a lot of that comes from. I can definitely see where a lot of that comes from. You know why? Because it's women influencing other women.
And it's the fucked up ones.
What do you consider fucked up? See, you just can't go around using that, man.
The ones that were manipulated, the ones that have done terrible things, the
Can't use
one
that either. Do you know why you can't use that either? Do you know why this has to be so pinpointed?
because it's too much of variety and vague.
Yeah, what you're spitting is vagueness, okay? Because everybody does that. I do that. You do that. I can name several instances even on video games.
The ones who misguide them to the wrong path.
Oh, what is the path, Obi-Wan?
That you was the chosen one. I lead into darkness.
Gonna pop out of the Matrix next, bitch?
You have a choice, either the red or the blue pill.
Yeah, uh-huh. Republican or Democrat, right? Crips or Bloods. That's all that
Yeah.
shit. That's all that shit rings to me now, dog. I mean, it really does.
Not actually, now that you mention it. Actually, yeah. Oh shit. I just realized that the red and the blue pills, the
Crips or the Bloods.
Crips and the
Republican or
blood.
Democratic. Odd, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyways, man, I'm gonna go get some rest.
So to answer my point,
Yeah. I'm having this weird head pain.
I'm
I'm gonna go
sorry, am
see.
I hurting your head? I'm not trying to.
No, I think it was because I had lack of air in the house in the room when I was sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what caused my migraine and headache.
Could be. Could be.
But I turn off the fan and the AC because it was like getting me a fever.
You're feeling hot?
Nah, I just got too. You know how it'd be like 100 degrees and you turn on your AC and your fan,
Yeah.
and then sleeping it drops cold and it gets too cold and you get sick from it.
Yeah, not really, but yeah, I get where you're going with it, but it's not you're getting sick. It's just your core body temperature is trying to adjust.
Right.
You feel like wheezy or queasy or whatever, or you don't
Yeah.
feel right.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way when you go into the hospital, and you get that cold air that hits you, and you're just kind of like you feel kind of like weakened for some odd reason.
Yeah.
It's your core temperature trying to adjust to the outside temperature. Blood pressure, dog. It's blood pressure.
Blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Any ideas?
When it comes to blood pressure,
Yeah.
uh, there's typically with blood pressure, man. There's not a whole bunch you can do other than routine exercise and stuff like that. It's mainly getting your cardiovascular system to move. Hence, core. Cardio is your heart.
Right.
So hence the point, blood pressure.
Okay.
I know it's weird, but that's basically kind of how it works in a, let's put it this way, a short-term nutshell of a medical description.
Okay. All right.
You know, you're not getting sick, you're not getting anything. The only difference is it's no more different than your body going outside into the cold and then it coming immediately into the warm. Do you get what I mean? So
Right.
if you go outside, like if you go from a warm, building into outside, you know how it feels like your body is freezing, but it's not. But the longer
Right.
you stay out there, the more you start to shake because you can feel it more internally.
Right.
It's that. It's blood pressure.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go lay down, relax. I'll see you later. Okay.
All right.
Good night, man.
All right, man. Later.